What's up, BST? I'm making a video of the plank because I realize this is a pretty foundational movement and I don't think I have a video of the plank out yet. So I'm going to show you a few ways you can do it, a few ways you cannot do it. What I really want to emphasize before I run clip is that you can hold a plank under tension, which is correct, or you can hold a plank without holding tension, which is incorrect. And I've seen people at the gym, oh, I was planking for 5 minutes today, and I'm like, really? If you hold a correct plank under tension for 5 to 10 seconds, you can get a ton of work done. So really the theme of this video is going to be planking under tension rather than just holding a plank for as long as you can. So I'm going to show you a few different ways to do it. Okay, so let's break that down. That's just a plank with straight arms, or the straight arm plank. So you'll notice when I get down to the I get on my hands and knees, I never start off on the floor and just try to kind of pry myself up. I always start off on my hands and knees. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my shoulders. So what that means is if I were to take how about this? If someone were going to stand on my back and just step right there, I wouldn't want my shoulder blades to be slouching. You'll hear people say, use the term winging scapula a lot. Basically, I don't want to be collapsing through my shoulder blades. This is not to be confused with protracting or hunching your shoulders, but you are going to be driving your shoulders through the floor to really brace your upper back. So the best way to just think or prepare for that is if somebody were to stand right between your shoulder blades, you'd want to really set and prepare for that, not just be in sort of a Gumby, slinky position. So getting set up for the plank, and this will actually apply for the straight arm and the bent arm plank, so I'll kind of explain it here. What I do is I set my shoulders, I set my upper body, and then I always step back with one leg first. And this is where I set full body tension. So I'm going to go back a second. You see where how my back is slightly collapsed? What I want to do is I'm going to imagine that someone's going to kick me in the stomach, so I'm going to brace for that. Stomach is braced. Now my body is under full tension. I still am on one knee. You can see that my chest is directly over we'll just say my chest is over my thumbs. My shoulders are over my wrists. That's another way of looking at it. From here, I'm going to step back with my other leg. And you see when I stepped back, there's no collapse. Really, I'm going to be looking right through here. And if I start to see any kind of collapsing, my belly button drops, basically my pelvis shifts or my core disengages, that is bad. Never ever plank out of that position. I step back, I'm bracing, I'm squeezing, and from this position here, I want to put my body into a straight line. So from my ears all the way down through my ankles, I'm in a straight line. My butt is tight, my quads are locked, meaning my legs are as flexed and as straight as I can get them. Technically, for all you kinesio nerds out there, my legs are not flexed. They're extended, but shut up. What I mean is my muscles are all under extreme tension, and I just brace here. Again, I always imagine that somebody's going to try to kick me in the stomach or run into me from the side, and I'm just bracing for that. And if I hard brace like this for anywhere from 5 to, depending on how good you are, you can hold these for minutes at a time, but this right here is much more work than sort of just doing a slinky. So that's the straight arm plank. I'm going to set up now for the bent arm plank, which is the exact same thing. I'm just on my elbows. So I'm going to step back, same thing. You can watch my fist. I'm actually going to clench my fist. You can see I'm trying to generate full body tension, meaning that my whole body is flexed. I'll just say contracted. My muscles are tight as one unit. I step back. Now right here, you can see that I'm not in a straight line. This is how I always begin. I'm up here, and then from here I'm going to clench my glutes and lower into it. Let's get rid of those lines. And then I set right here. My butt is tight. My legs are locked. My head's not drooping. You can see that my shoulders are right above my elbows. And I'm just bracing. Again, I'm pretending like someone's going to kick me in the stomach, and I'm just going to brace and hold. So these are two variations to hold a plank. I'm going to go ahead and show you two ways, well, one or two ways I don't want to see this. Okay, well, We'll break that down because I showed about 30 different things that I don't want to see. But first of all, the way I'm setting up here is incorrect to begin with. You can see that I'm already starting off, my shoulders are shrugging, meaning my shoulders are close to my ears. I want to kind of push my shoulders away from my ears if I do this correctly. You can also see that where my chest is here. My arms are already too far out in front of me. So from here, when I step backwards, now this is putting me in a much more, we'll say, a harder position to hold. And then the other thing I did incorrectly here is I didn't set my brace, meaning I didn't set my abdominal muscles, my intrinsic core muscles to brace and hold me up. So the second I lift my other leg off, you can see I immediately just slouch. So now from here, rather than we'll just say my abs being tight, my quote-unquote core staying on, you can see that I'm shruggy, I'm drooping through here. You can actually see my spine is curved, it's not straight. My butt's kind of poking up. This is how I see a lot of planks being done, and this is horrible for your shoulders, it's horrible for your lower back, it's horrible for everything. This gives you all kinds of back cooties and problems that you do not want. This will also allow me to do lots of swaying. You'll see kind of, what am I going to set up into here? Yeah, you can't really see from this angle, but what this also will allow me to do is twist. I want both my hips at the same height. From here, this hip is up, my other hip on the other side is actually lowered, so I'm not even in a straight line. So really, when I'm working on these things, I want my body to be in the straightest position I possibly can. So I'm going to quickly just go to the beginning and show you. Here's a braced, sturdy plank. And here's a total turd. So avoid this. Please shoot for something closer to this or this. Alright, that's the plank.